Hey guys, time for the weekly update. Hey guys, before we get any further, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell down here in that corner. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, training talks, training demos, training vlogs, and follow us along on the blog as well. Every Thursday we got a blog coming out, some kind of training philosophy or know-how or talk or physiology talk. If we've got a race recap to do, it's normally in there. So follow along so you don't miss any of the upcoming stuff. So I noticed something this past week as we were going through, kind of doing my homework, getting ready to do the training vlog and going back over my notes. We hit 35 miles last week for the first time in over a month. Apparently, in all of October, we did not top 35 miles. Now, granted, we had the race in there, which is traveling, racing. It's going to be a lower mileage week anyway. But and I recognized that like I rolled my ankle several times, and so that kind of cut into some mileage, just kind of recovering from stuff. But we managed to get 35.8 miles last week and some time in the gym. So I'm happy with that. It's ticking up, and I think we're going to try to do that again this week. On Monday last week, we did a 10-mile easy run, and then we got a few more miles in on Tuesday, hit the gym, we lifted, so we felt pretty good for that. Wednesday morning, we came around, Wednesday morning speed session. We did, well, they weren't all 800s. The first one was a 1K interval. But the guys I was with were planning on doing some 800 meter, not insanely fast, but 800 meter intervals, threshold bits, because one of them was racing a half marathon this past weekend. So he didn't want to go too nuts, just kind of enough to get his legs turning over. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. In my head, I'm like, you know what? Sure. And like, you run 800s with a little extra recovery. I'll run 1K, and then, I'll jog the 200 meters while you're recovering there, and then we'll start the next one. And we went through that 1K right at 320. So it's like right on 520 pace or interval pace for us, like 5K race pace. And it felt good. But after that first one and rolling right into that next one, I was like, that minute of rest is not enough for that intensity. So I ended up just doing 800s with about a minute and a half, minute 45 seconds rest, depending on the one. But those went pretty well. I was pretty happy with them. We started kind of right at 240, ran like a 240 and then a 238 and 238, and then a 235 and 234 on the last one or something like that. I was pretty happy with it and went pretty well. I think it was probably a little harder than it probably needed to be going. It was third hard day in a row. We had a long run on Monday. We only ran 10 miles, but we hadn't run even that far in a couple of weeks because of the race and injury, et cetera, et cetera. So I stuck it to 10 miles. But still, it was a long run on Monday. We had, some easy miles, but we lifted on Tuesday for the first time. So everything, like my quads and glutes and hams, were pretty tight. And then on Wednesday, we did these 800s. So by the time we got around to Thursday, I was feeling pretty trashed. It also been over a week since I'd had a day off. So I took Thursday off, ended up spending the time I would have used working out to run a bunch of errands, including getting my flu shot, which I didn't really think about till about Monday this week. Because, Friday I went out, tried to run. And I was just going to go for like medium long run, see how I was feeling, get some easy miles in, maybe put the hammer down a little bit if I was feeling good. And I expected to be a little sore after having 3 hard days in a row and then a day off instead of taking an easy day. But man, my legs just felt like trash. And so I ended up running them 4.5 miles, but they were hilly miles, and I probably shouldn't have done the hilly miles. Those downhills, especially on that left foot being tight and sore from a couple of hard days in a row, was probably a little bit much. But I mean, it felt good to get out and run. It was a little warm by the time I got out there. cold front passed through, and now it's like 70, 75 degrees again every day here in Louisiana. So, yeah. But we got 4.5 miles in, and on Saturday I got 8 in running on the asphalt out of the lake. It was beautiful. I was like 33 degrees, foggy, sun just peeking through the trees. I had like sunburst effect. It was beautiful out. Didn't have a lot of people show up to practice, so I just got to run. And I stayed off the trails. I will not be running on single track for a while until I'm sure my ankle is better. So as far as that's going, the gym work we're specifically doing a lot of one-legged lifts this week. This past week we did Bulgarian split squats and single leg deadlifts. We're doing the calf raises still double leg, just because I want to strengthen stuff before I'm really trying to add the balance aspect to it. If you're doing stability work, the only reason to make it more unstable is to make it harder to stabilize. If you're still struggling to stabilize it, like I am right now doing double leg calf raises, you don't need to make it more unstable. Like, you're getting that instability stimulus so we can work on getting it stronger and working on the balance, right? So, but yeah, so we did 10, or we did 8 on Saturday, and then Sunday we went out and just did like an easy 4, ran into a guy I hadn't seen in probably a year and a half. I didn't know he'd moved back to town. He'd moved to New York, actually, and his wife was actually in New York City running the marathon. And I pull up to the track because, like, I was beat up. Like, it didn't occur to me until like Sunday afternoon, Monday morning, that part of the reason I felt so achy and creaky was probably from my flu shot on Thursday. I know I'm not sick, but I also slept 10 hours on Friday night. Really weird for me. But, just kind of achy, just not feeling bad, just not 100%. And so I think part of it may just be my body's response to the flu vaccine. But yeah, so I get out there, and Jeremy's out there running, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought he was in New York, and of all days to see him on the track in Ruston, Louisiana, is when the New York City Marathon's going on. Turns out he moved back to town, and he's actually my running partner, Troy. It's his next door neighbor. So they live right next door to each other. So he might be coming out and running with us on Wednesdays now, too. So that'd be kind of nice. But yeah, so he's just out getting some easy miles in, so I hopped in with him and finished off the week with 35.8 miles, plus a lift session. So I didn't get a second lift session in this week, even though I wanted to. But I think that flu vaccine kind of kicked my rear end a little more than I thought, especially given that I slept 10 hours on Friday night. That is really, really rare for me. I'm normally like a 7-hour guy, pop up, I'm full night's rest, good to go. And it's not like I'd done a hard work on Thursday or Friday. So I'm pretty sure I was just fighting off that flu vaccine. Today I was a little, this Wednesday now, the next week, knees still a little tight feeling. Tight's not the right word. Achy and creaky, like you are when you're sick. So this week we're swapping the training schedule around a little bit. We're going to play with some stuff. Maybe we can try to be a little smarter with our overall training pattern. So, but I'll tell you about that next week. So until next time, train smart.